is almost never the most eco-friendly option. This is a myth that was largely perpetuated back in like 2016 when zero waste was really popping off. And this idea is solely based on the fact that glass is infinitely recyclable, whereas plastic, we all know all the problems that come along with that. When you consider a product's entire life cycle and like supply chain analysis, plastic oftentimes comes out better. Usually like a mixed material is the best. A thin, flexible mixed material. And a lot of this is because of how heavy glass is to ship, so how much more emissions and like fuel it takes to get it around. Not only to get it from the manufacturer to you, but to get it from you to the recycler. Lots of energy. It's also breakable, so loss of packaging and product when it breaks. And only around 30% of glass in the US gets recycled anyway. I get that sustainability is not as sexy when it's not black and white like this, because it becomes a little bit harder to understand. But as a sustainability expert, someone with a degree in environmental science, I just want to bust this myth. This is wrong. It's not the most eco-friendly material and often not even the most recyclable.
I don't necessarily disagree as points that we've discussed previously. One is the weight and the costs from the logistics, getting it to the fillers, getting from the fillers to the consumer, from the consumer back for recycling. That is a given. Okay, but yet you still have a material that in theory is fully recyclable. So I think that's a very big positive when it comes to glass, is that not all plastics are recyclable. And their statement, or this young lady's statement, stating that that only a third of glass actually gets recycled. Okay, but that's the same for plastic or any other materials. Okay, 100% of any material is not recycled or not handled properly to help through that life cycle. So I don't necessarily agree that glass is better or worse than plastic because more people will or won't recycle it. Glass is great, as we mentioned, from a barrier standpoint, from a value standpoint, and does have the ability to be recycled. So those are all positives. Yes, you're dealing with the freight issues, you're dealing with the cost issues, you're dealing with environmental issues for transportation, you're dealing with environmental issues for transporting plastic as well, and foils and films and other things. So each product is different, each distribution point is different. So I don't believe there's one answer that will meet all needs when we look at a sustainable packaging option.